Four, three, two, one. Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 24 of Real Time Chatting. I'm Josh, here always with S. Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
And I am Endy.
Yes,
Hey guys.
today's special guest is Endy. Tell us a bit about yourself, Endy. Who are you, what do you do, and why are you here?
Well, I'm a speedrunner, obviously.
Good start.
And yeah, exactly, good start. Mostly speedrunning NES games. Recently started playing some Game Boy games as well, since I bought a Super Famicom
Okay.
with a Super Game Boy 2. But I'm mostly been focusing on speedrunning. I started running roughly 2 years ago soon. Started out with Ducktales, surprise, surprise. And then I played, since then I've been playing a big variation of games, and it usually turns out quite good. So, yeah, it's been a fun journey, doing all the stuff I was so envious of other people doing, like running in marathons like ESA, GDQ. It's been a wonderful.
Is that how you that's how you found speedrunning, is it, for like marathons?
Well, actually, I was on Speed Demos Archive way back in the day. Even before I wasn't very interested in speedrunning in that regard, but it was always cool looking at speedruns even then, even if it wasn't a big interest. So I knew about speedrunning, but it's the real interest started watching, when GDQ started getting bigger and bigger, I guess so. And then a friend of mine, actually, it was kind of random. I started myself. A friend of mine posted on Facebook that he had done a speedrun of Ducktales, and that was one of my favorite childhood games. So I thought, well, let's try and beat him. And yeah, that's how it started.
Nice. All right. Yeah, so we normally start the episodes with what we've been doing the past week. Obviously, last week we didn't have an episode. That's because both me and S were really busy running or helping to run a marathon with people. But yeah, and the week before that, you were unfortunately really ill. So
Yeah.
so I guess we should do the last couple weeks. Like, what have we up to? So I'll start with US.
I helped out with GTA Marathon a bit. I was mostly like helping out with making sure that everyone who was doing the bingo races actually got their bingo board. And that was running smoothly. Except for GTA 5, which I had to do myself, so I couldn't help with distributing the bingo boards because I couldn't see it beforehand. But what else was I doing? I also did a Grand Theft Auto San Andreas 100% run on there. So that's good for like 15 hours of fun. 15 hours or 14 hours and 5 minutes it took, I think.
Yeah.
That was incredibly fun. I was gonna like practice some of that today, but I ended up working on a tool instead that I'm gonna use for streams to display some information.
Okay.
Other than that, I don't think I've actually done any speedrunning.
Really?
You haven't done any speedrunning?
You didn't practice or anything up to that point?
Nah.
No, I can't say I did either. All right. Well, yeah, Andy, what have you been doing the past few weeks other than being in bed?
Well, actually, I've been bedbound for almost. Well, I started streaming again a few days ago, but I was in bed for one and a half week, I think, almost.
Wow, what did you have?
I don't know. I haven't been that ill for years. I still have an infection. My dad is a nurse, so he took some tests, and I have a high. I don't know what it's called in English. Infection is CRP in Swedish, but infection value. So it hasn't completely left my body. So I'm still exhausted by doing nothing. So, but I mean, when it was at the worst, I couldn't do anything. But thankfully, Persona 5 was released.
Oh,
So
God.
I played 130 hours Persona 5 in 1 week.
Flipping hell, yeah.
I mean, that was I was basically lying in bed playing. That was the only thing I had, strength to do, and yeah, bathroom breaks, and I drank some water as well. That's about it.
That was a good time for that game to come out, yeah. A massive, really long
Yeah,
RPG.
that was a good timing, really. And
Yeah.
that's my favorite casual series, actually. So yeah, that was good timing. But well, I mean, I would rather have been not sick because it was terrible. I'll tell you. Yeah. Aside from after that, I've been starting, speedrunning again, and the new hot speed game, not the new hot, but there's kind of been a Batman for NES boom lately. So the world record holder Dexter picked it up again, and I picked it up, and like 4 or 5 other people as well started running it again now after a kind of big break. So that's where I'm at the moment.
Cool.
Cool.
All right then. I myself, just mostly the same as S, just running GTA Marathon, and also did a little bit of practice for it up to that point. Otherwise, I really haven't done that much either, actually. We've just been really busy the past few weeks, which is why this has been a bit on and off. All right, awesome. Okay, right.
Yeah, but you prepared for this one.
Yes, I'm prepared. All of however many minutes I've prepared for this.
That's great.
But yeah, we do actually have quite a lot of stuff, so that's pretty good. None of it by me, but you know. All right. So our first bit of news for this week, which is fairly big news, is that the NSA 2017 schedule has been released.
Yes.
For some reason, it's a really weird website. Why can't I just?
It's their own website, but they embedded the Horaro schedule into it.
Yeah, it's kind of odd. Well, I guess I just want people to use their website, which makes sense, I guess.
Yeah.
There's a lot of benefits to encouraging people to use your actual website. But here's the schedule for what I can show of it on their website. It starts May the 22nd, which, if I quickly have a look, is next month. Yeah, it's next month. And yeah, I know a couple people that are helping run this. And obviously, for those who don't know, NSA, it's kind of a joke since ESA Marathon is like a space agency thing. So they made North American Speedrunner Assembly, which is also NASA.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's subtle joke.
Clever thinking.
And yeah, this is the North American Speedrunner Assembly, so it's basically the American ESA, I guess you could call it. And this is the schedule for it. So I haven't actually had a look at this, so I'm going to quickly look through this and see if I can pick out anything I like. Sure, I think there's Gay Tony any % in here, right? Somewhere. I think Lenny said he was doing that.
Yeah, Lenny and Possessed Warrior.
Oh yeah, they said they were going to do a co-op run. So Lenny's going to have a controller and Possessed Warrior's going to have a mouse and keyboard, and they're going to swap at certain points and do other things. Also, the light in your room is constantly changing as it's like really dark now. What on earth?
It must be.
Oh, you're in the way of the sun. Wonderful. But yeah, do you have anything interesting here?
I see Octodad, the deadliest sketch on there.
Ooh, that is pretty good. Diablo 3. Didn't know people did run to the actual third one. Of course, there's Ocarina of Time, MST, Pokemon Snap, Hit and Run.
Do you see anything interesting on there, Andy? Ooh, talking of...
Yeah, I'm actually bringing up the schedule right now. I could have been a bit prepared doing that.
It's fine. It's fine.
Sam now.
See here.
Oh, Far Cry 3. What's this?
Far Cry 3.
Far Cry 3.
Where's that? Oh man, there is.
Man, a Far Cry game at a marathon, on-site marathon. Actually, on any marathon. I don't think Far Cry, like any Far Cry, has ever been featured on any marathon.
What one's Far Cry 3? Is that that the one that came out fairly recently, the mainstream one?
No, it's fairly old now.
Oh, is it? Is it the one with the fancy fire, or is it the one with the antagonist?
The one with the fancy fire is Far Cry 2, and then Far Cry 3 is the one with...
The evil guy, the famous evil guy. Yeah. Okay. Damn. Okay. I like Far Cry 2 more, but alright. Yeah, that's cool.
Let's see here. There's way too little NES stuff in here, but we have Legend of Zelda. We also have Warriors Woods with Cypher. Oh wow, Cypher is running games. That's that alone is worth watching it for. I hardly knew he speedrun anymore, so that was surprise. That's great to see. Well, there's obviously some nice games I know casually, which would be nice to see. But there was too little NES in here.
Yeah, underrepresented. Underrepresented, I guess.
It's fine.
Also, right at the end, we got our good friend Rydog doing PewDiePie Legend of the Brofist. And he was saying to me that he might be the person to close out the marathon because the other guy, the one runner after him, the last run, said, I think he was saying he couldn't attend or something. So it might be Rydog to close the marathon.
Oh, that's that.
With a PewDiePie game.
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting.
That would be pretty interesting, is one way of putting it. So yeah, that look forward to, but we'll see what happens.
Well, to be fair, I haven't played the PewDiePie game. It might be awesome, an awesome speedrun, so I'm not judging it.
Yeah,
it
it looks like a decent platformer game, so I imagine the speedrun isn't just, a meme. It's an actual speedrun. Mario Golf. Oh, baby. I love Mario Golf. That'd be fun to watch.
Give golf a chance.
Fable Lost Chapters. Oh, hey, I know a few people that have been running Fable. There's like that whole new skip thing that found we covered once, wasn't it? Yeah, so don't want to dawdle on it too much, but it looks like pretty stacked marathon. Nice schedule.
Yeah, it looks good overall.
Yeah. So definitely, we're gonna check that out. It starts Monday, May 22nd. It's an on-site marathon, so I imagine, it's like midday. It's like the start from the weekdays, ends on Saturday, but I imagine it starts Monday and ends Friday for America, whereas for us it would it ends at like midnight on Friday. So yeah, cool. All right. I wonder what attending one of those is like. Didn't they have big internet issues last year?
I did not follow last year's.
Okay, well, last year was like the first ever one. They had lots of issues, as you do. So hopefully the second one is better. Oh boy, setup block. Yeah, that's the favourite.
Internet issues with the on-site marathon is not the most, fun thing, but hopefully it's sorted out this time around.
Yeah, I think they were like had to use Wi-Fi, the hotel's Wi-Fi, because there was no Ethernet or something, and it didn't work. Alright, so that's the Massa Marathon. No other big news the past few weeks that I can think of. So, yeah, that's that. So,
I mean, we probably missed something completely obvious, and we're stupid for not covering it, but...
Probably. Probably are. But yeah, let's move on to speedrun recap. So these are all normally of the last week, but I think we've extended this, have we, to a bit longer?
Yes, I just included stuff from the week before as well.
Okay, so 2 weeks. That explains why it's quite long. Alright then, excellent. So, to start things off, we have GTA 5 Classic %, the best %.
Oh man.
I know a little bit.
You're not biased now, right?
I'm not biased at all. I have no issues with Classic % at all. But no, this is the main category for GTA 5, because true any % would just be killing yourself over and over and over again. And then they have another one called any % no mission skips, but then you have to use taxis to teleport everywhere, and taxis in this game aren't quite as good as 4.
Yeah, they're not as reliable in 4.
Yeah.
In 4, they can already be annoying, and then in this game, it's only worse.
Yeah. But yeah, this is a classic percent Torkus. I thought Dark Viper actually got the record for this, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. So I put it on for last week, but then obviously last week's episode got cancelled, and then now Torix took it back in the meantime. But I know Dark Viper had been trying for a long time to get the record, so I was really excited to finally give him the shout out he deserves. But then Torix took it.
Yeah. Well, that sucks. But that somehow, I wonder if there's no big discovery that happened, was there? Because I sort of follow it a little bit.
I think it's just optimization. The occasional 10-second time save gets discovered, but no major things going on. Just optimization.
In like 6.5 hour long runs. I guess that's how it is. Always just improvements.
Yep.
There's lots of places to lose a little time or gain a little time. So
yeah, exactly. So. Especially with like a RNG heavy game like Grand Theft Auto. It's like sometimes the guys kill you, sometimes they don't. Sometimes you get a fast car, sometimes you don't. But yeah, that's cool. I heard rumours that even Dates, the old record holder for this category, was thinking about coming back. So we might have some crazy freeway competition happening. Also, there's a person in this chat called KDSTZ. Huh. That's a cool name. Alright, but yeah, we'll keep an eye on that. GTA 5 Classic Percent is pretty hotly contested right now. So that's,
yeah, it is.
That's good. It's one of the few GTAs that is right now.
Yeah.
Alright, moving on. We have Castlevania, the original on the NES. I hope you know about this game.
Well, of course I know about the game. It's a really classic NES game. I'm not an expert in the speedrun myself, but K-Mac has been, he's been having that record for ages. Not ages, but he's been having it long for time. And then, I was like 6 months back, maybe a year, I don't know, I don't remember. But a Finnish guy named Mas Harvey took it, and then K-Mac instantly came back and retook it. And the same thing is about to repeat itself, but with a French runner called Jante. I can't pronounce it, but Jante. Janti, maybe, I don't know. Jante, maybe.
Something like that.
Yeah, so he took it by like 4 frames or something like that. There's a glitch in, not a glitch, but you can get a stopwatch in the first level of Castlevania. There's like a frame perfect. You have to hit a certain candle in frame perfect. I guess it's a global timer thing or something. And then you have to activate it after entering a door. And that's also a frame perfect thing you need to do. And then you need to have a good pattern at the boss and do a damage glitch, which is also frame perfect. So it's like a triple frame perfect thing to get a run started. And this Jante guy got a 3 or 4 second time save compared to K-Mac's time on the first stage, because K-Mac didn't have that. Then it basically bled some time in each stage, I guess, but in the end he had it with like 4 frames. But K-Mac is actually on the case already again. I saw him grind this today, so he's very protective of this one. So my prediction is that he will take it back. But we'll see. I guess John T is not. He might not be done either. So can be an exciting times ahead for Castlevania, I think.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah. It's crazy that the start of the run like that just has like a triple frame perfect trick to save a few seconds.
But at least it's in the first minute of the run. So it's not that. It's very reset heavy in the beginning, but at least it's early on. So
yeah. Don't want to go through the whole game and then the last boss is the one with the free perfect.
Actually, there are. You have to do a damage glitch hit on Dracula. But at least you get a run started with early.
Yeah.
There are some tricks in between, of course, as well, but the major things are in the first and the last stage.
Okay, awesome. All right, yeah, this is I played the SNES version of this game as a kid, but I never played the old NES ones. But they're obviously incredibly good. They started a very popular franchise, especially at the time.
Yeah, it still holds up today. I mean, it's hard and it's a bit clunky, but I would say it holds up today still.
Yeah.
I still enjoy it casually when I play it. I do.
Nice. There's 82 runs for any percent normal mode. So yeah, it's a pretty popular speed run as well.
Yeah.
Alright then. So that's Castlevania. Any percent normal mode by Jan Fee. Yeah, I can't pronounce the name either. And next up is Donkey Kong 64, No Levels Early in 2 hours, 5 minutes and 46 seconds by Kiwi Killer.
Yes.
Yeah, so Kiwi's a person we've had on the show before.
Yep.
And he explains all about this game, and the only thing I took away from it was that the Wii U version of this game, this category or whatever, is better, and walls, as we just saw, are only suggestions.
Suggestions. Okay.
Yeah.
This game is horribly broken. I took a bit of a look on the timeline, and this run doesn't get beaten often. We've covered this game a bunch before, but it was always 101% by Connor. But I see that in April this game has got 2 new world records, as opposed to none. So, for this category, I mean. So it's nice to see some action on the No Levels Early category again.
Yeah, there's some interesting glitches. It's like the I think I remember him explaining the character tilt, which like changes how your hitbox works.
Yeah.
It looks pretty dumb. It's so good. Yeah. So yeah, if you want to know more about this game, go back and watch our episode on it. Kiwi explains all about it, but all you have to know is that the walls are suggestions.
Yep.
It's
That was
pretty good.
episode 9, by the way.
Episode
so
9.
Oh, well, already.
Yeah, how do you remember that?
I just looked it up.
Oh, okay. All right. And next up is a game I haven't heard of, Dragon Warrior Any Percent in 25 minutes, 35 seconds.
Yeah, this one has kind of an interesting history. I'm unfortunately not an expert in the game myself, but it was very noteworthy record because I mean the old route for Dragon Warrior, it's a long RPG for the NES, and I mean the old game. I remember in the Best of NES marathon, which is a marathon where basically the world record holders in like all the NES games we can find show off games for like 3-4 days in a row. There's a guy named NES Cardinality that is a specialist in these types of games, and when he played it at that point last time, I think the record was like 4 or 5 hours maybe. But
Okay.
then the task of the game used some manipulations. If you and they were able to implement it RTA as well. Basically, you have to move in a certain way, stop at the right. There's random encounters in the game, but if you stop at the right spots, and start walking in again at the right frames, and you get the same encounters every time. And there's some special kind of encounter with some metal slime that gives you a lot of experience. So you basically have to walk in a certain way, get the encounters you manipulate. Then you have to wait for a certain time before you attack to get a critical hit. I mean, it's crazy. The entire run is basically I've been watching WeeJoey, who has the current record we took recently. I mean, when he did some research, I mean that was crazy. I mean, and NASCAR as well, of course. He managed another task-like route before that, but now WeeJoey improved it. So they basically go. I mean, when the game was 5 hours, they grinded for hours to reach a certain level where they had a chance to beat the final boss, like a 25% chance or something. But now it's even more crazy. They do go straight in more or less, and just it's worth a watch. Really, it is. I can't believe how they like a 4-hour improvement.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the leaderboard, and then like first, second, and third place at 25, 27, and 34 minutes, and then
Yeah.
fourth place is 5 hours 48 minutes.
Yeah, exactly. It's the new route. I mean, it's yeah, it's so that was a noteworthy one. I mean, there's always a lot of NES records being beaten, but that one was one of the ones that came to mind that's been beaten recently.
Damn. Okay. Yeah, that must be really a major improvement they managed to find. It's ridiculous. All right. Awesome. That's probably the most improvement I've seen that quickly in a game. Like for like 4 hours to like under an hour. It's pretty ridiculous. All right then. Next up, hey, I know about this one. I was there when it happened.
I wasn't.
Oh, okay.
You tell about this.
All right, so this is GTA 4 EndySWE in just under 4 hours, 3 hours 54:39 by Kyle does it. And he linked. Oh, this is the one without the. Yeah, he took the video and like removed the GTA Marathon stuff from it. But yeah, this is actually a run that happened at GTA Marathon. So this was his GTA 4 run he had. And funnily, during the submission phase, when we're having meetings deciding like what we should accept and what we shouldn't.
Yeah, deciding on the cuts.
Yeah, he was he submitted it with a 4 hour 5 minute estimate. And we kept telling him to raise it to 4 hours 10 minutes because we weren't sure if he'd get it. And then he goes to world records in the run because like he kept saying he was gonna. So that was pretty funny. But yeah, this is GTA 4, obviously the one before 5. This is the base game, so there's no expansions or anything. And Kyle is like one of the best runners of this game, and he does crazy things in it, and it's just so much faster than everyone else.
Yeah, his times are still uncontested. People have tried to beat it, but I don't think people are even getting close. So
yeah, his knowledge of the game, like exactly when he should sleep to get a phone call, and when the text message he needs is coming in, stuff like that. Because unlocking missions in this game isn't as easy as just doing the mission before it. It's kind of
it's really complicated with phone calls you have to take, and being in a certain spot at a certain time of day. It's really complicated, and he knows. He seems to know it anyway, like inside out. It's insane.
Yeah, it is pretty ridiculous. I've tried looking at like the mission tree before, and it's so complicated. I couldn't get my head around it. I've done the beginning of this game where it's pretty simple, but after that it becomes all open-ended, and it's ridiculous to try and do. So yeah, fair play to him. I watched the end of this run live. I was actually on commentary as well a little bit, and it was pretty good. I'm glad he did it. He says he's nowhere near happy with it though. He made a few mistakes that he's really annoyed with himself with, but yeah, considering it's a marathon run, it's pretty impressive.
At least, yeah, it was so funny. We were like 6 people in the call, I think, and it was 5 against him. He said like, yeah, I can beat this estimate, and everyone else was like, yeah, but last year you went over estimate, so you're gonna have to raise the estimate by 5 minutes.
Yeah, that was pretty funny. But yeah, I was about to say something and then I forgot it. Never mind, whatever. That was GTA 4. So next up is Mafia 2 EndySWE. Oh hey, by KDSTZ. Hey, funny that. Yeah, a cool name, friend. I wonder if it's an actual reference to San Andreas or just some random letters you picked. But yeah, Mafia 2, I think I've heard this one is the good speedrun, because Mafia 3, the recent one, wasn't, because it's repeating yourself over and over again. But I don't actually know anything about the game.
No, we've got a comment though from the submission.
Oh, okay, fantastic.
He wants you to skip ahead to in video time 34 minutes and 47 seconds.
34 minutes and 34 minutes done. Early 34.
Alright. He says you should probably skip ahead by 21 seconds.
Okay.
He said a stepping stone to the top 3 hours 10 minutes push. I'd write more about the run on high of it, but the run is awfully dull. So have a nice sidewalk glitch. So I try, how to promote his speed game. Um, but he did link us to the sidewalk glitch, and I'm not sure if that was the flip we just saw or something else.
I think it was the flip that we just saw. I can't imagine anything else. Unless he, like, does something with the sidewalk intentionally, I don't know.
I love it.
47 seconds yet.
He advertises his game. It's very dull.
I guess that was it. Yeah, okay. Well, sometimes it's enjoyable to just... That was the glitch. Okay, there you go. Sometimes it's enjoyable to just do runs of slower paced games like this.
It's the LA Noir guys on, and they said, there isn't much to the run, but it's just, really chill and really casual. So I'm imagining this is the same.
Yeah, I've done like Red Dead Redemption is the same thing, so yeah, it's just a nice chill speed game to do. So that's cool. Alright, I'm sure if people
Next
actually...
time, probably not advertise your game with the word though.
I'm sure if you know about the game, it's interesting. Speaking of knowing about the game, I hope you know about this one.
Yeah, I can do.
Okay.
Actually, so this is Half-Life Blue Shift, right?
Yes.
Alright, so Half-Life is a crazy speed game. It has bunny hopping, it has weird clipping now, I think. But Half-Life Blue Shift is the most dull of the three Half-Life.
Great.
But it's definitely the least popular. But recently, some people found some stuff. One of them involved throwing a grenade somewhere, and I have no idea what's going on. And the other one involved quick saving at a specific time during the final cutscene, so that you can break out of the cutscene and then skip to the end of the cutscene. So they're skipping like half of the final cutscene, which is still included in the timing. Like some games, they don't include the final cutscene in the timing, but this game does. So they break out of the cutscene and then skip half of that cutscene by going back into it. They touch a trigger. It's pretty complicated.
Okay.
But yeah, they skipped to the final cutscene, and that's where time came from. So, for some speed games, finding a big time save is the only reason for people to get back into it, and Half-Life Blue Shift is one of those speed games. I am such a hypocrite. I just said, don't advertise your games with dull, and I'm like, oh yeah, this game is dull.
It's fine, it's not your game, right?
It's still, I think it's still a good speed game. It's just that the other two Half-Life games, that being the base game and the Opposing Force expansion, are just more interesting.
Okay, alright. That's interesting then. I'll have a look at the massive skip some other time. I don't want to try and scrub to it now. I don't even know what I'm looking for, so... Alright, that's HLBS. Good acronym. And next up is Hearthstone League of Explorers Heroic Again by SRD, who just says, I want the second fight to be highlighted. It shows the example of how newer cards result in a new strategy. Okay, so I think I can do that. So this is Hearthstone, with a ton of annotations. Okay, they're gone, that's fine. Well, they removed annotations. And obviously this is a card game, online digital card game. I'm trying to scrub to it. But this is the latest, not the latest, the second newest expansion to come out that was solo, like it has a solo game mode. And this is the hard mode of it, which is legitimately very hard. Okay, here's the second fight. So yeah, so a load of new cards for Hearthstone just came out, as they do. And apparently it's changed the strategy for this one. I'll go ahead and set the speed to maximum. But I guess he's playing a Death Rattle Priest? Yes.
Hello.
Yes, he's playing... he is, it's fine. I don't know what the strategy is, because I've never played Heroic, but I imagine it's just an example of, new cards came out, so all of the old strategies for everything else is now thrown up in the air and you can do it all better and stuff. But I'm still just impressed people even speedrun Heroic, because it's ridiculous how hard it is. Like, sometimes some people can just never beat it in like a whole day, let alone in an hour. So yeah, if you like card games and you like speedruns, which are two very different things, you can combine them, sort of. I guess that's very loud. What is that? Okay. I guess he's like just gonna use the thing to heal himself. I just want to see it. Yeah, he's just gonna heal himself. I guess he just has to survive. Interesting. Okay. Well, that's that. I wonder how that was done before without the OP Priest Legendary card that just came out.
The question is, I mean, Index, I only played the first Hearthstone expansions, and there you kind of were given a deck more or less with the new cards and stuff. So it was basically, I guess there's a lot of RNG involved as well. I don't know what it is nowadays.
That's class challenges you get given a deck. There's like the other one which you make your own.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I don't think not many people do class challenge speedruns, but if you don't have any cards, you can do that instead. All right. Next up is what does Devil May Cry 3 Special Edition Dante New Game Normal in 1 hour 8 minutes and 47 seconds. That's a very long comment. I guess you can read that, S.
Yes. This is actually a run that was submitted like a few weeks ago or so, but he submitted it using a run that was like a month old, so we didn't cover it.
Okay.
So I just decided to take the like that submission because Ron did get beaten last week. So he says, well, obviously all the timestamps are wrong because I don't think there's timestamps. Okay, so this is quite a complicated run that requires a lot of frame-perfect mechanics to be done. I.e., I forgot what that means, jump cancelling, switch cancelling, guard cancelling, that's a lot of cancelling, just release, and some less useful and that are not used or used less frequently, such as controller glitch, that allows you to do 1 to 3 frame dialogue skips, depending on the matching speeds. This was discovered by Mecharazium, Zero, Dux, and Simosius in the run. The major part of this run is the fights that you have to perform quickly as possible, using the tricks mentioned above and calculating the damage you've done to the enemies, as lack of the damage or going full ham sometimes can rip you the run. I don't know that sentence. But apparently he has to keep like close track of what kind of damage he has done, and so that does seem complicated. Anyway, he also says the run is not RNG heavy. Instead, it relies on precise movements and knowledge of the zones. Look for heaven or hell difficulty runs. You kill everything in one hit and vice versa. So the routing is a major part of the run, and we're pretty sure something can still be optimized. We didn't find any out-of-bound glitches yet, but as the community is literally 4 to 6 people that are semi-active, we hope that we'll find some in the future, although that's highly unlikely. The run includes a zip glitch that allows Dante to zip through the river, saving about 20 seconds. And then he gives a timestamp, but that won't be right because this is a different video. I guess that's all. Okay. Do you know about this game, Andy? Your microphone is muted.
Oh, sorry, I had some kids in the background. So I muted it. I have no knowledge of the actual speedrun of Devil May Cry. You know, I've been playing the 3 first games casually, but I don't know what's going on there. Sorry.
Yeah, that's alright. I have no idea either.
It seems like, instead of RNG, you get precise movement and knowledge and routing, which it seems most of the runs seem to either be really RNG dependent or really movement dependent.
He basically said he could lose the run if he did go full ham. I'm not sure why that is, but maybe there's some kind of finisher attacks that leaves you vulnerable or something and gets you killed easily. I'm not sure.
Maybe. But I know that the game's like a very flashy, like, you know, fighter game, sort of like Bayonetta.
Yeah, it's a combo-based system mostly.
Yeah.
it's basically half of the game is killing the enemies as good looking as possible. So
Yeah, exactly.
it's a cool casual game. It's kind of like Bayonetta actually. It's a good comparison.
All right, cool. So yeah, you said there was a lot of people involved in that community, so I imagine they do find things pretty consistently. People.
It's hard to find an out of bounds glitch when you're looking for it now. Like usually those get discovered by accident, I guess.
Yeah. All right, and next up is Rygar any percent in 8 minutes 41 seconds.
Yeah, well, another one of those classic old NES games that's been, it's like from, what is it, like 86 or something. It's a kind of interesting. It has many categories. This particular one is the any percent category, which, not unlike many, it's like many NES games. It's really broken. I suggest you look around 4 minutes 40 seconds into the clip.
Okay.
That will show off one of the most important. A little further ahead. Let's see, there's a boss fight coming up in roughly a half minute there. And there's another one of those almost, I don't know if it's frame perfect, but it's a really precise trick. You kind of kill yourself and damage boost yourself through a wall in roughly a half minute in that video now. Well, 4:40 or something. It's pretty self-explanatory. I can't explain the mechanics and how it works. It basically just screws up everything in the game. So you skip ahead to, you're basically, the intended route is going around doing lots of things, collecting things. He failed it the first time there. So let's see here. He instantly respawns there. So,
Whoa.
as you can see. And then he basically will take an intentional game over to respawn at a certain area he shouldn't be in. And then there's like, that's obviously the run killer spot there, 4 minutes in. And then you have to grind for, there's one of those early games where you actually got experience and upgrades by killing enemies by drops. So he's basically gonna stand there for 4 minutes or 3.5 minutes. So it's not really interesting to watch, but from this point on, it's basically RNG. And when it's gotten that, it's gonna wrong warp again to the final boss fight. I mean, I will see how he gets it here. Yeah, it's kind of that airwalk. Yeah, don't ask me how that works, but that's the final boss. So he's in the final boss room now, and it's basically gonna mash down that guy. So the air walking is also, I don't remember, I've actually speedrun this game myself a while back, but in the no major delicious route, there's no, you don't do the airwalk thingy, so I don't remember how you do it, but it's also one of those really precise things. Like most NES games are mostly short in general, but they always have some kind of frame perfect bullshit you need to grind for. So I mean,
seems to be the case often, yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, but because they are so short, most of them, it's it's grindable. You can still do it, and most of the games are pretty optimized. Well, most of the more popular games do.
Nice. All right. Awesome. Yeah, that was a pretty glitch-heavy game. Just skipping through the it's amazing. Like I imagine he jumped in over to the next level instead of going through the door or something. So
well, the regular route takes. I mean, if you don't do the wrong warp there, it takes. I think the record is like 23 minutes or something to go around everything. So it's a completely different route and category. So
cool. Right then. Okay, and then next up we have Guitar Hero 3. I was about to say something else. Guitar Hero 3 full game, full combo in 5 hours, 23 minutes, and 47 seconds by Randy Ladyman.
Yeah.
It has an excellent clickbait thumbnail for the video. I think it's a joke, but
Ulcock Monkey got this record like 2 weeks ago. I think we covered this as well. And
Yep.
I said, this is incredibly hard because you have to get all the songs without missing anything. And yeah, that's very difficult, and only a few people are able to do it. So when Ukok Monkey did another run of it, he's done like 5 runs or so. He said, like, I would like someone to take my racket so I have someone to go against and get some competition, which is rare to find in a game with such a skill cap. But Randy Ladyman took the challenge, and yeah, he's a bit more consistent than Ukok Monkey in the game in general, which of course always helps. So he got the record easily, I guess. Although he did miss on the easiest song in the entire game. But yeah, he said, I'm probably not gonna do this again, just because he was so nervous and he couldn't deal with it. And you know, this is a Guitar Hero player, so he doesn't normally do speedruns. But Ukok Monkey, he was happy and he said, yeah, I'm gonna take that back. So we're going to see some competition in a game that at first you're wondering how do you speedrun it.
I thought exactly.
Yeah, but it's so hard, like, to do everything without missing once. If you miss, you have to restart the song, and that's where all the time losses come from.
Yeah, this is a full game, full combo, so they're not allowed to miss a single note the entire time.
Yeah.
So it's like a skill based run.
Yeah, rather than like a speed.
Every speedrun is skill based, obviously, but
yeah.
There's like some little menuing things you can do, like restarting the song as soon as it loads and stuff like that, for speed. But mostly it just comes down to like not messing up.
Yeah, not messing up, being good at the game.
Yeah.
At some point, like, once someone does a run where they don't miss at all ever, and you know it comes down to the menuing, at that point, like, this game will be done, right? There's nothing you can do to speed it up. But because the game is so hard, that's not gonna happen anytime soon. So we'll see some more of this, I expect.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. Wish I was good enough at Guitar Hero to pull that off. I can like play an expert, but I'll miss a lot of notes. All right. So it's cool that there's a little other community that's sort of getting into speedruns a little bit in their own special way. All right. So next up, did we talk about this last week or last episode? Yeah, we did.
Yeah, so we did.
By the way, sorry for breaking in, but the speedrun, I mean the Guitar Hero, 5 hours 23 minutes. I mean that endurance it has to take to that's quite impressive. I must say. I had to add that.
Yeah. Wow. My fingers hurt after like half an hour. I can't. Can't imagine doing it that long. Oh. All right. So yeah, the next game's Wind Waker. You know, The Legend of Zelda, The Wind Waker HD. On the one on the Wii U, the one they found barrier skip for, which is obviously a massive thing, and I can't get this video to load, which is fun. So I might have to just not look at a video of it.
Just take the second place.
Yeah, I guess. But this is a 1 hour 32 minutes and 57 seconds by Linkus. Did they? So this is like actual any %, not like all dungeons they were doing. So they didn't have an any % route yet.
Yeah, so last time we covered this, what was it? Yeah, any % hadn't been done yet because while the barrier skip was possible, it now came with like a completely RNG-based thing where you had to do a zombie hoover and hope for one of the fairies to accidentally hit you.
Yeah.
And so that you don't die and game over. So they did a bunch of all dungeons runs instead, where you unlock the item to do that part normally. But of course that's slow because that was just like 3 hours. I see here, which was still faster than the any % before barrier skip. Funnily enough, but now they've actually seemed to have done normal any % with the zombie hoover. I'm guessing. And yeah, they brought down the previous any % time by 2 hours, which is just amazing.
Yeah, that's the power of barrier skip. Okay, so no, this is the run I thought it was. So this, the current any % route is really dumb because the only way to get up to this last little bit is to put the fairies down. And then he has to put a bomb down. This is the second place run. I couldn't get the other one to load. So he has to almost kill himself. So he's on half a heart or quarter of a heart. He puts a bomb down, aims at the pots, shoot the fairies out, then waits for the bomb to explode. Then zombie hovers up to the thing. Now, if he lands, he'll die because he's technically dead. So he needs the fairies to touch him as he gets up onto the ledge so he can go into the loading zone. So he just needs a fairy to fly into him, and it's completely luck whether the fairy actually hits him or not. And it's also
just goes in a random direction.
yeah. I was watching Linkus try this for like 2 hours on one day, and the fairy just kept going through him and not actually colliding with him, or like just behind him or something. It's so horrible. But yeah, so yeah, Linkus actually, this is a gymnast's run, I should say, but Linkus actually got a very good run of it as well. So I imagine it is not the most fun category in the world to run when it comes down to that sort of level of RNG. But yeah, it's still really impressive that barrier skip was found, and I'm glad it exists, I guess. But they just have to do all dungeons now.
The 90% world record is actually being held by Linkus.
Yeah.
Yes, everything except for all dungeons right now.
Nice.
I'm not sure if he's trying for that. Obviously, all dungeons was a category that was created because of barrier skip in order to it's the fairy RNG without having a completely random category where it would be any percent with this thing, right? So,
yeah, exactly. So yeah, so if you find a major skip, just make a new category. That's how it always goes. Alright, next up is a game we have covered heavily, which is Ori and the Blind Forest Definitive Edition, all skills inbounds in just under 31 minutes by, I don't know their speedrun name, Hetfield90. And yeah, this is one of the games we've had on the show before, and it was actually incredibly interesting to learn about this. I'm really glad we did as well, because it made watching the reverse boss order at AGDQ way more interesting, actually knowing what was happening.
Yeah, exactly. Do you know this game well, Andy? Or at all?
Unfortunately, well, not unfortunately, really, but that's one of those games I've been planning to play casual for a long time, but I haven't have found time for. So I haven't even watched the speedrun of it. I mean, intentionally, just to avoid it. I mean, we can talk about it here, of course, it's fine.
Okay.
But I'm not gonna, look at the run really, because everyone has been talking about Ori, and a friend of mine, the Swedish runner Joka, runs this as well. So he's very good at it. So. But I've been, not looking at his runs as well, even though I would like to. So, but I should play it soon. Kat.
Yeah, I'll avoid any spoilers in the video, so you should be alright.
Nice.
But yeah, it is. It seems like a really cool game, and especially a cool speedrun. Are they still running their tournament? Is that still going?
Oh.
I think it is. Let me check real quick.
Yeah, see if you can find that.
It's getting close to the end if it hasn't finished yet.
Yeah, so they were running like a massive tournament for it with loads of players and like round robin and stuff like that, and it looked pretty interesting.
Seems like the 100% category was beaten also just 10 days ago by just Yoka I talked about.
Nice.
Actually 17 minutes ahead of the second player. They must have found something.
Yeah, that's a pretty big improvement. All right. But yeah, that's Ori. As we were saying, there was or is a tournament going on for it. So if you like the idea of speedrunning this game...
Yes, apparently the semi-finals have been done and the finale is coming up next.
Oh man, okay. We'll have to...
It's Hetfield who has the world record versus Sigma, who is the one we had on the show.
Yeah, awesome. Okay, we'll definitely have to watch that.
I'm not sure when that is scheduled, but it's going to be scheduled soon on twitch.tv/speedgaming. So check that out.
Yeah, definitely will. So I'll have to remind myself to do that. Let's remind myself right now. Where are we? Ori tournament. There we go. Alright, okay. And then our last run for today is probably the best run, of course. It's Deus Ex Invisible War, the game that should have never happened. If PC gamers get annoyed by games becoming consolified, then this is the persona of that issue. But yes, this is the worst Deus Ex. Maybe a little bit better than the Fall. I don't know, but yeah. Anyway, let's stop shitting on the game. And this is Deus Ex: Invisible War in 22 minutes and 18 seconds by Stimpy. Why is this here? Oh, okay, that's why it's here. Go on.
So the commentary. Let me see if I can give you a timestamp. I'll give you those later. Stimpy has been busy with this game since he did not only a new segmented run 40 seconds faster than a previous record in SDA, but he also did a new RTA record. This run is mainly about fast, floaty movement and stretch of quick save, quick loads to skip as many info links, which are messages sent to the player, as possible. Info links prevent you from going from map A to B, and since the maps in this game are tiny, they stop you from moving on. The new trick found here is the double jump, which can be stacked to reach the top of the map, which will allow you to reach higher places fast and skip some more info links bypass of the info link trigger. So it's not a dialogue skipping and speeding up. So at 9 minutes and 15 seconds.
Right. 9 minutes and 10 seconds, close enough.
There is a neat jump that skips climbing a ladder. Oh, I see this. I'll see a neat jump. And demonstrates a double jump.
Oh, is that it?
That did look like a neat jump.
That did look
You
like...
jump, quick save, quick load in the air. Then during the load, you press jump again to gain extra height after the load. Oh, that was the black screen.
Yes.
This can be repeated to jump even higher and further. The same trick is used for new inflink skips in Cairo 2, which is at 19 minutes and 10 seconds.
19 minutes and 10 seconds. Wow, this is a short game. There we go, close enough. That penguin.
Yeah, so his goal seems to be sub 22 minutes for this game.
Okay, it's very close then, just 18 more seconds. Oh, yeah, that was a... Oh, that's some quick saving and quick loading right there. Damn.
I think this game is so bad, like every time you go through a level transition, the game intentionally crashes itself and reboots into the next level. Anyway.
Oh my god. Yeah, look at all the radio menus, because they tried to... So, obviously Deus Ex is a classic PC game, and then this game was made originally for the original Xbox before anything else. So all of the menus and stuff are really horrible. Alright. Well, that's that game. How wonderful. But I imagine the speedrun is pretty good since it's incredibly broken and stuff.
It has some pretty cool tricks apparently. So.
Yeah. That does look
only
pretty cool.
22 minutes, not too long, so it's nice. Something you can squeeze in while you wait for podcast to start.
Yeah. Alright. And that is the end of speedrun recaps for this week. Or past 2 weeks. If you know any records that you wanted to tell us, then you should have let us know about it with our submission link, which S is putting in the chat. Wonderful, there it is. Go ahead and fill our submission form out, and then we'll talk about whatever record you submit. There are actually quite a few submissions this time, wasn't there? Yeah, 4 of them. Alright then. And that brings us on to In the Spotlight, Ducktales. So I have your video ready to go, so I will play that as soon as there we go.
Alright.
Oh, there's volume. There we go. I'll play the video in the background. Is there any specific points you need me to go to, or?
You tell me I need to bring up my own video.
I can just play it if you want.
It's basically, I mean, it's a quite short game. I think my explanation video I did is probably longer than the speedrun itself. To be honest, the first thing I show in this video is the biggest trick in the game, which is called the moon skip. Basically, it's I don't know. Many people have played Ducktales casually. If you haven't, the idea is to go around in the moon in a big spaceship, collecting, getting the remote control for Gizmo Duck, so we can blast open that green wall there. But it takes like 1 minute, and it's kind of boring. So instead of doing that, you can either fail like I did there, or you can do it like this. I kind of show off the old way of doing it here, like a pretty casual way that anyone can do. You basically just duck there and get hit by that enemy. The setup for it is not super simple, but with practice it can be done. So it basically skips the entire level without you having to go inside a spaceship at all. So it takes roughly 20 seconds to get there instead of 1 minute. So that's the biggest time save in the game. And the reason it's looping is because I show some different ways of doing it. This game is basically optimized down to frames, more or less. So every small improvement that has been found in the current years, I showed some different evolution of that there. The different ways of doing it. So that was the first explanation I did in my explanation video. I should have added timestamps, I guess, in it.
It's all right. I can skip forward.
And here's the next part.
Okay.
So we can go forward to that, so I can go through it here.
Right. Fast forward.
We can't play the video. Here I basically explained how the mechanics work in this game. As long as you're not moving sideways, horizontally, as long as you're only moving vertically, and you're in a downward motion, you can't get damaged by the enemies. That's so I don't move sideways, and I hit him when he's on top of me and I'm going down. I hit him. I don't get hit. If you're going I think I demonstrate here. If I try to do it on the way up, that doesn't work. So, and that goes for every boss fight. Obviously, I only show it on the rat here because he's coming straight up. So it's easy to demonstrate how the mechanic work. But it's depending on what boss fight it is, it's of course harder to implement. You have to read the patterns you get and do it as fast as possible. And on a specific fight, there's like 6 different initial patterns you can get. And it's basically, you have to take a chance you get the fastest one. I don't show it in the video here, but in general, it's a very RNG heavy game when it comes down to patterns. So it's a short game. So it's another one of those short games that has been very optimized because it's so short that you can actually play it. I played it 30,000 times.
Wow. Yeah. Yes.
So here I show up one of the other major skips in the game. You probably saw right there the intended strat in the beginning, just wait for the rope. But if you, I stop for a couple of frames when he spawns on the left side, and then you can make it across by grabbing the rope and then letting go instantly. It's and there's I show a few different setups for it here in the video. So a slight hesitation there. It's hardly even noticeable. And then you can, if you make it from the very edge of that platform, you can make it across the rope. So it's one of those things. If you fail it, you lose 45 seconds. If you manage to get it, you save 1.5 seconds.
Yeah. I imagine this game's all about small optimizations like that, right? So
it's all about the small optimizations, I would say. With a game that short, I mean, it's like the record is 7 minutes 8 seconds right now.
Okay.
I mean, it's like it can go down by I don't want to speculate how much, but it can't go down by much realistically if something new, major strats aren't found. But this is one of the more popular NES speedruns, so it's been turned inside out. And in the past 2 years since I started running it, we improved it with almost 7 seconds, which is huge in this game. But there's also been a lot of people from time to time pushing each other, working on this game. So in the video now, I show, there's basically just some show the importance of how the movement works. Every small thing counts when it comes down to optimization. I think I show off a casual way of doing it. How there's ice physics in this game, for instance. It's only applied on this level. But you see, if you do high jumps and just go the casual way. Am I lagging, by the way, or
No.
okay? It's, everything is okay. Seems fine. So, but in the second, I show it off again here. You see the difference here. I basically hug all the little ice blocks, making as short jumps as possible to gain the momentum on the ice as soon as possible and stuff like that. I mean, there's like small things that many people don't think, but I think about, but there's small stuff like that everywhere, and also there I demonstrated how to drop off the ropes and stuff. That's also another one of those small things. You climb a rope and you want to drop off as soon as possible when you reach the ledge, and you can't do it too early, you will fall down. But you can't if you do it too late. I mean, you lose time, you lose frames. You basically don't want to lose time anywhere. So it's and that's the best way I found of demonstrating that in this particular stage. So that's why I included it in the video.
All right.
And then I think there's one final section coming up, which was one of the last major thing we found in the game. A trick that was, I think we can run the video. It was only in the tasks from the beginning. We tried it out, I guess some people did, but never made it to work RTA. But then when the record got to a point where it was like, well, we need to do this to move along. And in the end, I found a setup for it, so that worked on 2 spawns. I don't know if it's my Skype is messing with me. I can't see the video myself when you're playing it.
Oh, okay, it is running.
Yeah, I
it's
can
like-
see it.
You like bounce on top of the bat,
All
right?
right. Did I lose?
Skype being a good program.
Discord video.
That's good. Maybe we could kick you out of the call and put you back in. I'm not sure that's probably only going to make things
I don't
worse.
think you can hear us.
Oh man.
Weird. All right, let's.
Okay, I only hear robotic sounds at the moment, and I see stuttering in the video, so I have no idea what's going on at screen, but it's pretty self-explanatory if you can see the video on screen. It's basically you take a damage boost off damage on the last cycle in the boss fight. You trade hits with him to manipulate the height of the bat to be at the right position, and you delay slightly, take another damage boost off the bat, and then you use the bat to gain height in the final jump up to the. So you basically get up to the next screen, more or less. It's a really precise trick, and you have a 40% chance of getting a spawn that is possible to do from. If it's there's 5 different spawns, and if it's only possible from the 2 furthest right. So it's and there's also this game is so the reason there's 30,000 attempts behind this is that there's 6 bosses in the game, right? And we start off with that moon skip and everything, which is pretty hard in itself. Then there's the rats that I showed off, which is also RNG. The initial pattern, you can have 4 different initial patterns, and you need the correct one to be able to even have a remote chance of doing a record, because you want them to rush you basically to get a first fast hit in. Then there's 2 stages later, the hell skip and then all that. Then there's the next RNG heavy boss fight where you also need a specific pattern, which is a 1 in 6 chance. And then there's some execution heavy stages, and then there's this boss fight in the end, which is a 40% chance to even attempt that trick I did. So it's basically it's stupid, but it's a fun game. It has great music, and it's a really enjoyable run, which is why so many people run it. And yeah, I do say jump with the Y. I do apologize for that, chat.
It's a Swedish thing.
Yeah.
It's a Swedish thing, and in every marathon I run or everything I do, there's always the Endy jumps. So that's the way it is, and I guess it's the way it's gonna be.
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah, there's I've seen loads of runs of this game, and like you say, it's very popular. If I go on speedrun.com, yeah, it's a whole lot of runs, especially for the easy mode, 106. It's a lot.
Yeah. Actual difficult has been the main category, mostly because of there's no really route differences in the actual run. You can damage boost, but it doesn't really save you time anywhere. So easy is more. I would recommend playing easy for beginners. Difficult is just adding. I mean, we raced a 4-way race at ESA last year. 2 people game over because we raced difficult.
Oh god, wow,
So,
that is hard.
I mean, it's really. It is. There's no. I mean, of course, in the end, the fast run doesn't. You don't take a hit. If you want a record, you don't take a hit. So I mean, it doesn't matter if it's on easy or difficult, really. So easy is a better category for people to start running it and learning the game. There's no reason to play difficult, in my opinion. But I know some people disagree because it's more cool to play difficult. But well. It's my saying that goes in this because I have the record.
Fair enough. Yeah, and you have
Also,
record for both, so.
Not Ducktales 2 though. Well, I do have record for the both categories.
Yeah.
And yeah, we raced. This was also played at last Awesome Games Done Quick. Where Garrett21 is pointing it out in the chat here. There was one of the most when I've seen votes of the top GDQ moments. That's one of the top moments. Everyone should really check that race out if you haven't seen it. It came down to I think it was roughly 30 frames in the end.
Yeah, it came down to the last boss fight.
Yeah, it was insane, and I got I don't. One of us got the task bats, and that settled it. So,
nice.
So that was crazy. I guess I could find a link of it somewhere. Gareth can probably find a link. He's in the chat. So.
Yeah. All right. Awesome. You got any questions, S?
When you do attempts and you grind the game out, I guess, how long do you play for on in a typical session?
I play pretty long. I do have. It depends. I mean, how much time I have. I have 6 kids at home. They need to go to bed, and I also, I need to spend time with my wife, and but if she goes to sleep early, for instance, I can play maybe 5-6 hours maybe.
Oh, wow.
If I know luck, and that's this is my the hobby I have. Basically, the thing I dedicate time to whenever I can, even during the day. Even if I can't stream, I can. Since the games are so short, and I can set up save states on basically every trick-heavy spot, you can basically, if I have 10 minutes to spare, I can sit and practice a single trick for 10 minutes and then just do something else, So it's really fitting that way. But my usual sessions are around, I would say, 3 to 5 hours, I would say. And there's mostly attempts. I do most of my practice off stream, but when I do attempts, it's usually 3 to 5 hours.
When you do attempts, do you reset often, or do you usually carry on and just finish a run for fun?
I'm a reset guy. I would say there's if I'm not de-rusting or anything, then I can do no reset runs. But I do play. I reset a lot, and most of the games are short, as I said earlier. And the reason, obviously, is because I don't have time for the long games with the family and stuff. I don't have time to practice them. Kids can wake up in the middle of the runs. I get to, there's a lot of distractions, so that's why short games are so good. Which means I can get a lot of attempts in, and why not reset if it's not? I'm a kind of a perfectionist. In that regard, so I reset a lot. But people seem to enjoy it for the most part anyway, because the runs you don't reset are usually more hype, and those are the moments you live for. So, you live for it, that's all. But you.
So how many runs do you usually see it through until the very end?
How many runs I in a stream? You mean?
Yeah, and like let's say in one of those 5-hour sessions, how many runs do you actually finish?
It's highly dependent on the game. In Ducktales, I mean, at this level, I don't grind the Ducktales anymore at the moment. I will never grind it again unless I've said that this is the game I'm gonna, defend until my last breath, basically. So if someone would beat it, I would, go back no matter how long it took. But um, I mean, I finish. I'm playing Batman at the moment. I would say maybe in 5 hours I maybe finish 5 rounds, maybe, and it's a 10-minute game.
Yeah.
Something like that. So I mean, it's very reset heavy, but it makes it more exciting. I mean, there's a lot more to streaming than just reasoning. This is chat interactivity, and it's and when you play those short games, you basically you kind of learn them so good it gets into muscle memory. So well, of course, you need to focus a lot, but you can still, when you learn the game properly, you can still have a really good interaction in the runs. So it may, even if you play the same game thousands of times, it doesn't get boring anyway. So to play it yourself would get boring without the stream.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Yeah, you're on a lot of games I saw on your profile. And do you run multiple games at the same time, or is it like you run a game, you get a good time, and then you move on to the next game? How do you approach like multiple games?
I tend to focus on one game. I don't really like leaving a job undone, really. Well, it's when I started running, I was like getting the world record or busts. After Ducktales, I got like, what's it called in English? A blooded tooth in Swedish. I don't know what it's called. No, it's not. That's not the expression. Well, you basically you get a taste for it, basically, and you want to continue. You don't settle for anything less. So, but then that's not, that attitude will lead you to despair if you it can. I mean, it didn't work out. I mean, I got kind of burned out for a while, so I had to change. I'm a very competitive person in nature, so but I had to switch my mindset more or less. So nowadays, I want to have a good time in the games before I move on. It doesn't necessarily have to be a world record if I don't really if I enjoy the game, really very much. I go for it, but it's not a requirement anymore, so to speak. So yeah, that's my mindset. I want a good time that I myself feel satisfied with. I want to reach my own goal now, and then I can continue to the next game. But I don't have any trouble really running multiple games. I mean, for a marathon setting, maybe if I need to de-rust, I can handle multiple games. I was in the last Big 20, for instance, which is a competition where we speedrun 20 NES games, or last time it was Famicom games, but basically the same thing. Back to back, we speedrun 20 games back to back. There's like equivalents in some other consoles. They have one of those for Master System, one for Game Boy, one for Super Nintendo now as well. So then everyone had 1 month to learn 20 games basically. So and then a race on race day. So that's also a fun thing. I mean, but I if I had to choose one, I would play one game at a time. That's most enjoyable.
All right. Do you have any questions, Josh? I do.
Not really, no.
All right. So to get back to DuckTales a bit, if people want to learn the game, what are some good resources to use?
There's on speedrun.com there are the resources page is empty, I think, but there's a guide section. I think it's called guides or something.
Yeah.
Then Gerdas, who's a top runner in this game, has made a tutorial with emulator inputs for the moonskip, the fast moonskip, which is a good thing to learn. But if you don't want to start off learning the hard way, I mean, like the video I posted earlier, well, that we showed earlier, that's like kind of explains the old way pretty well and stuff like that. I mean, it doesn't really take much to learn this game. I would say it's probably enough just looking aside from the moonskip, which is only a real glitch thing. You can look at what's happening and try to mimic it. There's a lot of subtle things you probably won't see when you're starting out, as it always is, but just to get a basic understanding of the route and learn how it works, it doesn't really take that long. It's a very that's why it's so popular, I guess, because anyone can learn it, and it's I mean it's a really optimized game, and it's tough to get a top time in it, but it's anyone can learn it. And also gotten some attention now. I guess extra attention with the Disney Afternoon collection that was released just a week back or something.
Oh, wow.
The Capcom Disney put out on Steam, Xbox One, and PlayStation 4. They basically put Ducktales 1 and 2, Chip and Dale 1 and 2, Darkwing Duck and Tailspin, all the older classic NES games, and in a collection with built-in leaderboards, time attacks, and everything. So I hope to see even more runners of this game.
All right.
Nice.
And the community is very helpful as well. So I myself, when I browse Twitch, I follow Ducktales the game. So if I see someone play it on a speedrun, I usually go in there and just do you want help?
Yeah.
Many people are like that, so it's just reach out to anyone in the community and we will help you. So it's
Do you have like a Discord server or like a central on other?
we do
Where you hang out?
we do have a Discord server. It's not super active at the moment. I guess we had a tournament in Ducktales that was pretty big on speed gaming
Oh yeah.
some time back.
We GTA people should do a tournament on speed gaming.
Yeah.
Let's see here. I can have an invitation to the. Let's see here.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting that it's such a popular speedrun. Like you say, it is easy to just look at a run and see how it's done.
Yeah, that's exactly. I kind of like those runs myself. It's easy to pick up, and that's partly also why I had so easy to pick it up myself. It was I said earlier it was partly because my friend. It was mostly because my friend posted a Facebook video, but I realized when I started running myself that how simple the actual the route was and how fast it was to learn. So, and then of course there's a lot of work after that, but I mean everyone can have fun with it.
So your first run, how long did it take?
Well, my first, I learned the route in a day. I think I got sub 8 the first day, actually, sub 8 minutes. But there's a difference between. I mean, and then the grind began. We traded times back and forth, my friend and I. He's still a top. At that point, none of us were top runners of the game, but he has. I think he's got like 4th or 5th place now, maybe. So we both come a long way, but. I don't remember exact how long it took, all the steps in the way, but it was weeks and weeks and weeks of months. I mean I've been playing Ducktales, so I'm so much so I'm like when I hear the moon theme, everyone's oh the Ducktales moon theme, that's the best music on the NES, and I'm like, what the hell? Yeah, it's terrible. You never hear the chorus in the speedrun either because it's so it doesn't even get to the good part.
Nice. Yeah, I can imagine that being frustrating.
Yeah, but it's as I said, I hope. I mean, there's never a shortage of people. You always see someone running Ducktales on the streams. It's kind of incredible. And I mean, games can be dormant for a long time or dead or whatever, but you always see people. I mean, not always, but almost always see people playing Ducktales in some form. So it's a game people tend to return to as well. Previous, runners that like when you don't know what to play, you can always play Ducktales.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Awesome. All right. And you talked a little bit about your goals for the future. Is you didn't have any, you just wanted to hold the record. So, do you think
Yeah, in that particular game, yeah.
yeah. Do you think there is anyone that could ever take it from you? Like, is there
Well,
much to improve?
I battled with so many, high-profile good speedrunners back in the day. I mean, when I started playing it, the record was 7:15 by Nudua, and that record has stood for over 2 years by then. And I think I quote him. He said something like, "No one is ever gonna be crazy enough to grind it out," or something. But then we found some new things. I mean, that record it's still a really impressive run even to this day. Because it uses inferior strats in some places. We found some new things. But I had a line of thinking with this. What was the question?
Well, do you think anyone could ever take the record?
Oh yeah. I mean, we had most of the top runners of this game. We battled it out in sections, so to speak. I mean, Nudua never really returned, but there were other people than me. After I got Dexter, who also had the record in this game for, with the SDA record. I think he still have the SDA record because who submits to SDA? So I mean, and he returned when I beat Nudua, and then there's an American guy called Crescendo, and there's a couple of other Swedish guys, Frippen, Purio, and. So we all, battled back and forth for a while, and then in the end, I got Gerdas, the Italian, the one I raced at GDQ, Gerdas 21. He actually, when we got below 7:13, I held the record for over a year, I think, roughly a year. But then, yes, Gerdas came from nowhere, more or less, and I was on. He started to grind it down, and I was on camping vacation with my family, and I was like in the camping. I think I was sitting in the bathroom or something with the phone, like you always do. And it was like, I think he tweeted or chatting or something. He was like, or in a different channel. He was like, "Andy, I have to tell you something." I was like, "What?" I beat your record. What? So we ended vacation premature, so I could go and take it back. He had it for 26 hours. It was also raining and it was shitty weather, but still, I like to say that it was because of the record being beaten. But yeah, we after that I started a monster grind. I mean, I was basically obsessed. Played it. I mean, yeah. So I beat it back in 26 hours, and then I continued pushing it further. So to an almost ridiculous level. So I don't think. I mean, he potentially, if he puts down the time, I mean, he's the guy that's most likely to beat it back at the moment. I would say that's the only one I see. There's also Frippen 87. He is running it on and off, and he is also very good. But I don't think he will. Sorry, Frippen, but I don't think. I think he needs to play a bit more before he can do it, but he needs to put in more work. But I mean, when it comes down to a game like this, it's you have to have the time to do it because it's so because of the heavy RNG. I mean, you don't get many chances with the right challenge. And the chances you do get, you need to capitalize on them. So you need a very high level of consistency. So, yeah. But I mean, Nudua said that no one would beat his 2015. I mean, I can't say that no one will beat my 708. I mean, it's possible. But if that happens, you know where I'll be. You know where I will gonna do. So
wherever you'll be.
I welcome anyone. Yeah, wherever I'll be. I welcome anyone. I welcome everyone to do it. I mean, I don't I don't try to discourage anyone. I want competition. That's what drives me forward as well. So I really hope someone will go for it at some day. But
Awesome.
I don't see it right now. But
Yeah.
I hope someone will.
Prove
Alright.
him wrong, everyone.
Prove him
There
wrong,
was
yeah.
actually a fake submission just a week ago. There was some random dude who claimed to have a lower 708. Then we found out that just a basic glance at the round, it turned out that basically you saw a slight mistake, and it was like, no, there's no way that can be a record. So the guy basically used the emulator, and during the screen fades when there's no music or nothing. He kind of sped up the emulation. It was like a movie recording, and sped up the emulation, so he gained like 3 seconds or 2 seconds in every stage because of the sped up fades. So I mean, that was like, but yeah, other than that, no one. That's what it takes to beat it.
All right then. All right, and with that, I guess we'll move on to chat Q&A then. If you have any final questions, S.
Will we see you at ESA or HDQ soon?
Sorry, wait. I was. My mind was completely somewhere else. I was reading something to do in the chat. It was, I obviously quoted him wrong here. Nobody would be dumb enough to run it, so thank you to do it.
Yeah. The question was, will we see you at ESA or GDQ anytime soon?
Oh, yes, I do plan to go to ESA. I submitted 5 games for ESA this year. I got three in the first cut, so I hope that at least some of them makes it to the second cut. So I will be playing, if everything goes well, I will be playing a Famicom game called Mitsumi Gatoro, which is a platformer, pretty unknown due to being Famicom released in Japan only. Also Ninja Gaiden 2 in a race against Cartina Cow. And what is the third game? Moon Crystal for the NES, which is also a Famicom exclusive.
Okay.
So, I tend to go for the unknown games this time around. Well, Moon Crystal was run at last GDQ actually by Jimmy Poopins, but still. But hopefully I will be there, and I will have my wife with me this time around. Actually.
Oh, nice. Okay.
I managed to find babysitters for the kids.
Good. You can get away from them, yeah.
So that's at least the plan for now. So I will hope to see everyone there.
Nice. All right then. And hopefully I'll see you there as well, because I'll hopefully be there.
Awesome.
All right then. So that'll do for In the Spotlight. That was Ducktales. Now we know all about it. And now we move on to chat Q&A. So if anyone has any questions, quickly type it in the chat, and we'll get through it. For us or Endy, probably mostly Endy, I guess.
Yes.
But the first question isn't who does your hair. Lots of S.
I do.
You do. Wow, that must be a lot of work, right?
I sometimes go to the barber in the city center in downtown, and it's always a different person. So.
I guess it's 90% you and 10% random people there.
Yeah, pretty much.
All right. And yeah, I have chat open as well, so I can read as well. But you can go on this.
Josh, would you speedrun opening loot boxes in HOTS 2.0 if someone donated for it?
I mean, so there's a big update for HOTS that came out that added like loot boxes as you do. And I opened a ton of them because I got given a ton because I've been playing that game for ages. I wouldn't want to speedrun it though. That sounds expensive. It's like speedrunning opening Hearthstone cards, so no thank you. Keep going.
I could have sworn there was another question. Ah, yeah. Where's my interview about my heroic Karazhan run?
Karazhan, that's Hearthstone. I don't know, maybe we could have Hearthstone on sometime. We could have like you and SRD, I guess. And we can just confuse the hell out of S for an hour. A Hearthstone special.
That's good. Here's one for Andy. Have your kids ever tried speedrunning?
They have not, but they do sometimes enjoy the games I play. I played some cute games, so like Yume Penguin Monogatari, like a Famicom game. Surprise, surprise. But it's a cute penguin. Platformers. They're like, oh, this is our favorite game to watch. They say. So I mean, kids are supportive sometimes, but they mostly get bored. Are you playing that again?
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah.
So and I mean, it's basically I mostly play 8-bit games, and they mostly play 3DS games, and, Wii U and Switch games. So, I mean, it's like
Yeah.
they're not really into retro, though they do like. I gave them like a Game Boy Color once, and they actually enjoyed it. So there's hope for humanity.
Nice. All right. Do any of you like prog rock? Okay, let me just Google this because I probably do. I just don't know what genres are called.
I think Muse is prog rock, so let me.
We're cheating now. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I probably do like prog rock.
Yeah. I like prog, just in general. So yeah,
some
I do.
subgenres. Wow.
Yeah, I guess.
I'm not like I always get confused when it comes to musical genres. Like, what is it exactly? And I just listen to what I like, and I don't bother with what genre it is.
It sounds like I agree on that note. I mean, it's like I can listen to anything as long as it's good.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Endy, when is Mylon's secret castle?
Never.
Okay, excellent. Is there a story to that, or just?
Nah, it was featured in. I don't know about the game really that much. It might be a good game. It was featured in one of the Big 20s, the Big 20 events I was talking about earlier, when you learn 20 games in a month. And I wasn't participating in it myself, but it didn't really look that great. So I think I will. There's other games I would probably run before Mylon. sorry, Kicks.
Okay, and I guess the last actual real question that isn't a joke about how we look is what are the next speedrun plans? Okay, I guess we can move on to the end where we normally talk about that. But yeah, what are you guys planning to do next week speedrun wise? Have you got any specific plans?
Who goes first?
You can, if you want.
Yeah, sure. Well, I'm probably gonna. It's the last week of. I mean, the ESA cuts are announced May 1st, I think.
Okay.
I don't know if anything we do at this point is gonna make a difference for the final cuts, but I might put some work in Ninja Gaiden 2. Other than that, I want to play Batman, and I also have the biggest thing, I guess. I have a big follower special, which I have postponed a lot of times due to many reasons. It's finally going to happen this Saturday, so I'm gonna try to beat 50 NES games in one sitting. In 15 hours, 50 games in 15 hours.
Okay.
So it's basically I mostly stream in the evenings, but this one I'm gonna have my kids are going to the grandparents, so I'm starting super early. To have time to get it done. It's also so that's gonna be awesome. That's the big plan at the moment.
Sounds like you've got more plans than me and S probably do. Yes, what are you doing?
I want to get back into. I've said this for like 3 episodes now, but I want to get back into practicing Grand Theft Auto San Andreas 100%.
Okay.
Excuse me.
You're gonna do my plan, like what I told you to do, of just not label practice as practice, but just don't finish a run, right?
I wanna try doing some practice of GTA, and then doing some casual stuff, like some casual gameplay in the same stream without going offline first.
Okay.
See see how that works out. Do like a bit different streams then. I used to do that like all the time back in 2013 or so, but I've like since like 15 or so, I was either streaming runs or casual stuff.
Mm.
And I kind of want to like do it all in one stream. So do a run first, get in all the viewers, and then do the casual stuff so they can all leave again.
Yeah, sounds like a good idea. Yeah, that does sound like what you used to do. All right.
And you?
I don't know. Whatever I feel like when I wake up tomorrow, I don't know. We'll see. I should probably be doing San Andreas again. I'll probably do San Andreas 80%. If we didn't run the same game, it would be a little less boring, this answer every week. It's like, you do 100% and I'll do 80%, and we can cover everything. We need to get an all missions runner on sometimes, so they can say they're doing that. Then we have all the categories. Alright, and there are a couple more questions.
Yeah, I made a nice line for the answer.
Yeah, okay.
2 questions got in still, I guess.
So, okay, I can reword nice subcounts question to a better one. Endy, have you ever played a GTA game?
Yes, I do. I did play the first GTA games, the top few games.
Okay.
I like those. I did also play the third one a bit. Was okay. But I never actually finished the game until GTA 5, which I enjoyed very much casually, actually. So that was a really good game, I think. It's not something I would ever consider speedrunning.
First GTA, like one.
The first GTA, how long are the speedruns there?
They have weird categories because it's like it doesn't quite work as a speedrun. Let's have a look. GTA.
I would probably not speedrun those either. I didn't.
It's still probably a bit long for your tastes. So like, oh no, it's like any percent of each area is like minutes.
Oh wow! Really?
Yeah, like 1 minute, 2 minute.
Are you looking at GTA 1?
Yeah.
Well, I only played it casually.
To get someone into speedrunning GTA 1 because it's like the one GTA that wasn't featured on GTA Marathon because there's not very many of it.
Yeah, okay.
Don't get your hopes up.
And then the other one, the other one's also minutes long, so like 2 minutes, 1 minute, 4 minutes. I don't know. There's no just beat the game category. It's all like do individual cities. It's weird. I never played those games, so I'm not certain.
Dirty modern streamers.
Alright.
It's nice to have you on because now we learn. Like I learned anyway something about something I knew nothing about.
Yeah.
Very interesting. I definitely like
better.
it.
Alright, and then the last question, I guess, is what is your guys' favourite game you don't speedrun?
Ooh, that's a tough question, actually.
I mean, if we don't include the multiplayer only ones, which is an obvious reason why I don't speedrun those, I guess like the Pokemon and Final Fantasy game. But I have done runs of Pokemon. No, I guess it's just Final Fantasy for me. Final Fantasy 7 and 10. But I think I'll die if I try to do a run of those. So long. Let's have a look. Final Fantasy.
Yeah, you also maybe you don't. Some games you don't want to speedrun, to be honest. I mean,
yeah.
I can feel that about some games. I feel they would be kind of ruined from a casual perspective if you started speedrunning them, because you tend to get a love and hate relationship for the games you run. And if it's a run you love casually, it's not like I would risk ruining it for a speedrun. Probably. I don't think so.
Yeah, Final Fantasy X is 10 hours, so I don't think I'll ruin it for me. Well, you're thinking pretty hard.
Difficulty answering this. I'm just scrolling through my Steam list here. Audio Surf, Fallout 4, or maybe 3, I don't know. Like, I find favorites, like what's your favorite, blah, 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 questions very difficult to answer anyway.
Yeah.
But now there's the restriction of games I've not speedrun. Yeah, maybe one of the games I listed, but I wouldn't be Like, if you ask me that question again in a week, it's probably gonna be a different answer. But
Yeah.
if you do it today,
All right. And I guess that's the end of the show. So thanks for watching. So we have a YouTube channel where we post everything. Oh, I got the commander. I've never typed that before. There's the link to the YouTube channel. This episode will be up there in a few hours when I upload that. And we also have our Discord. Yeah, there you go.
nice.
So you also have our Discord, so you can we chat in there about the runs and stuff that happened in the week. And there's a research section, so you can tell us about stuff that you found out about. Like Trollbear told us about NASA Marathon. Otherwise, we would have probably missed that.
I'm gonna tell you all about all the new NES records.
But do leave comments so we can actually say something about it.
Yeah. Let us know anything about it.
Yeah.
And then we got the submission form. I don't even know the command for that. And yeah, so as we said earlier, we're doing some things next week. What was it you were doing, Endy? The 50 follower special or something?
Yeah, that's on Saturday. After that, it's probably gonna be Batman for a while.
Okay. So if you want to watch some NES Batman, go ahead and follow Endy on Twitch.
It's EndySWE, right? Like I said, appears on. Cool.
Yeah, as it's on the stream. Yeah, perfect. And I guess we should find a raid target.
Yeah,
that's always a good idea.
Yes, have a look. See if we can find someone.
Some good raid targets that just never come up with. So. And we need a message.
Let's have a
You
look.
can never talk too much about Ducktales, right? It's what you told me when I contacted you. You can never talk about Ducktales. With capital E. Oh.
The hell? Okay, yeah. I know a few people, GTA speedrunners, we could do. If you don't find anyone relevant to DuckTales.
There's no one really running DuckTales at the moment, it seems like. So,
damn.
You said you could always find someone running Ducktales.
Yeah, well, always. Of course, it never happens because you say so.
Alright. Let's go on this speedrunner thing. While that's happening...
I'll wrap the rest up. Who are we having on for next week?
Who are we having on for next week?
We don't know.
Okay, we'll figure that out and then we'll let you know.
And yeah, Andy, if you have any last words, something you can get off your mind, or something you really want to tell to these people. Words, speech.
Oh, well, I think I've spoken enough already. My motto is how to make a short story long. But yeah, thank you for having me. It was a blast, a fun time. Even though we had prepared for this so good, so I mean, it felt we really got everything we needed to say out. So. that was a really fun time.
Yeah.
I'm glad you had fun. It was our honor too, man.
I cannot find anyone to rate.
Let me get on it.
Okay. But yeah, thanks everyone for watching, and obviously thanks Endy, as you were saying, for coming on. It was a good one. Learned about DuckTales. Yeah, I guess we'll see you all next week. Whoever we manage to find on for then. Do you have any specific rituals or anything you do at the end of your stream, Endy? Like anything you say or do before you end?
I'm kind of a boring guy that way. I usually thank everyone for watching, basically, and I always find someone to host or raid, depending on how, if I'm, tired or, I mean, sometimes I just go watch this guy. No, but it's like, I always thank everyone for watching. I'm very, that's the reason I stream interactivity, so that's mostly the thing I do, basically. I'm sorry. I couldn't come up with a more exciting answer.
That's fine. Most of our guests don't actually. But I have found a raid target. Have you found one, S, or not?
Yeah, I found someone, but they have more viewers than we do, so...
Okay, well this person has 8, so...
It's very good.
That sounds like a good target.
We need a raid message. Is there like a catchphrase or something in
I
Ducktales?
have maybe Andy is know
Okay,
something.
any raid message.
I
Oh,
have a great message, but Andy knows one.
But you have a good raid message, right? So you
You
do the
put in the
message.
raid message. I'll put in the channel link. You put in the raid message.
Alright.
So we're gonna raid. You can never talk too much about DuckTales. Go raid Sigma Sin, who was a person we had on the show before. He's playing Ori in the Blind Forest. All Glades speedruns, which I don't know what means. But go there, watch that.
T, not a D.
What?
I capitalized the T in Tails, not the T in Duck.
Good job. That's
You
the
had
end.
top
Thanks for watching. Go there, raid with that. I'll copy paste as well. And we'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye bye.
The outro.